My name is Marcus Alessio Feddachinni. I'm a world-renowned chef. I have about 17 restaurants, and then 2 more I'm about to open, so that'll be, I think, 23, if I do my math right. Yes, I've worked at many famous restaurants across the world. So this second dish is a lime bread. I got it when I was traveling in South Africa. It was taught to me by a group of tribal men, who turned out they weren't tribal men, they were just tourists. But so there's a very specific way you cut it to get the right thickest kind of little bits. So you just kind of cut it right along here. This bread is actually very local. So you see, we want it cut like this, and you just have to tear it off and go, hey man. You have to say that. So you don't really need this anymore. Let's toss that over there. So here I've got the lime. This lime was exported. You had to pay $5,000 to export this lime from South Africa. So I'm just gonna cut that up to get it ready. Go. And other side. And you just want a little bit of parsley. Oh, that smells so good. Yes. Put that right in there. And just to get that good flavor. And that is lime bread. And you can always cut it in half. Just and that is lime bread. It's one of my favorite dishes. Okay, so now we're moving on to one of my favorite things to make. This is hashmagag. So it's very simple to make. You just have a little bit of flour. This flour is actually churned here on the ranch. You just kind of put that in there. So we don't need this anymore, so we set that right there. And you just kind of like gotta mix it around in there. See, as I'm kind of mixing it like this, you know. You wanna get it like really loose and airy. You want all the airs to come in. Sometimes you even go outside and just let airs come in. But I don't always do that. So I'm gonna pour a little bit of this in. Okay. And then we're gonna start with this end because this end is bad. Bad. And this dough is very tricky to make. I learned this recipe when I was very young from my mentor, Francis Mallman. He's a very famous chef. Just gonna kind of add a little bit more water in here, just to kind of get it all nice. So, yeah, I'm just gonna kind of keep stirring this till it's at a nice doughy complexion, you know. So it's getting there. It's really getting there. So you can kind of just go in there, just kind of get it all. So you want to make sure to get every little piece of dough and just. So this is really looking what it should look like. It should kind of be like kind of crumbly, but very nice. And I always like to get in there with a little bit, make it extra sticky together. And then after this gets kind of flattened out, it's kind of right there, and you're basically ready. So then we're just gonna put this on the pan. So the way we cook it is we put this on this pan and just let it sit at a medium temperature and just let it all kind of form and come into shape. And it should be warm. You can just touch it like that, and then I always like to get a little bit of just kind of. And this really helps it come into its shape, you know, come into its really good form. It's really starting to come along. We're going to flip it very soon, and we'll really see it coming into its form. Okay, so I think we're at the point now where it's ready to flip. Just gonna get in under there. Just kind of. Alright, so now the hash magarek has been fully cooked in the pan over there. So now we're going to just kind of get a last little bit of goodness and yumminess on here. Okay, so now that we're done with that, there's just one couple of things we have to do. Is we have to put a little bit of salt on there. I mean pepper, sorry. The salt comes in when you cut. So we put a little bit of pepper on there. And then you cut it. It's now fully cut and ready to be served. Love it. So this is the almost daily cleaning of the fire pit. Just so we can cook good food here. So they don't get to eat until the fire pit is clean. Hey. Give me a shovel. Okay? This is how you do it, okay? Alonso, come on. Let's see some more from you. Or I take away your hat. Hey, watch for the shovel. Alonso, do better.
I've really been immersed in Marco's culture. No, I don't think that's a good thing.
So, at the ranch, we really just we only rely on fire to cook all our foods, except for the stove. So, we use the fire pit right here. So, I only like to use flint and steel to light fires because it's all about the culture, you know, bonding and culture, you know, so that's just really how we do it. Oh no. You know, you really just gotta do it super methodically and just gotta. As you can see, it's already working. That's the beauty of flint and steel. I believe breakfast is the most important meal of the day. So it's good to have a good hearty breakfast. That is why I've got this fire rolling. We've got 3 rattlesnake eggs right here. That'll be perfect for cooking. I love them. I put them in snow to keep them nice and cold. What I'm going to do is just going to put them right here. I'm just going to crack them right into the coal. Okay, so everything's been cooking for a good hour or so. So now I think it's time to pull things off here. And then, so we have the toast ready, and we're just going to take the eggs right up here. Get that nice and spread out right on there. And boom, you have your nice hearty egg sandwich. And you can add some stuff to it if you want to. But that's what you got right there. You know, something I really believe here at the ranch, you know, really rustic culture. You know, we got everything to kind of bond together. Everything's bonding. You know, I really don't like processed foods at all. They're really bad for the environment. I mean, it's all about the culture of everything here and the bonding that you can have over food. produce here, you know, there's enough apples to feed almost the entire world, you know? The reason I love this store so much is just how local everything is. It's the only place in miles that I can get any food. So I use it for all my ingredients. Okay, so for our last dish of this week, we will be doing one of my favorite dishes to prepare. I have all my ingredients out here. We have lime bread, we have some seeds, sugar, cheddar cheese. We have some special stuff in there, coffee grounds, some veggies, pepper and flakes, salt. Not sure what this is, and ground ginger, and some peanut butter. So first we want to build the base with the bread. Just kind of gotta get in there, you know. It's like you're gonna be using all the bread, so you should probably cut about like 2 pieces, you know. And I always like to go in there with the knife and just, and I always just like I gotta sand it down a bit, just so you get a full solid base in here. This dish I made up when I was a very young chef, and so now you're gonna have this on the plate. You're just gonna want to put it in just like this, so you have a base, and then all the juices from this dish will be soaked up by the bread, and the bread you eat last. So then here we're gonna want to lay down a little bit of coconut, just because this is the final. This is the final part you eat, so you want it to be a little sweet, you know, and some salt, you know. And this is where, since this is more, I serve this more during the earlier part of the day, it's good to get a little bit of coffee in there. And so this is what your first should look like. You know, you've got your coconut, your coffee grounds, your bread, you know. Everything should be right in there. And then now you want a little bit of vegetables. So I'm going to take a little bit of this. You don't need that part. You're just going to need some of this, and you're just going to kind of... And the beauty of this dish is you don't have to cook it at all. Everything happens just right here. That's why I love this dish so much. So you want to have a little bit of spice in there. A little bit of spice is always good. It'll help it get so much like more flavor and culture from it. And then now you're going to want to add a little bit more with the cheese. Oh. And then a little bit more veggies in cucumber. Very good. You just wanna really down here. It always makes me so happy to make this dish, you know. It's so much fun, you know. It really brings me back into the world, you know. And then you're gonna want to get a little bit of this cinnamon, which is what my son calls it. I've only seen my son once in 10 years. So, yeah. You get a little bit of cinnamon on there. And now here comes my favorite ingredient, which is the cheddar bunnies. These are grown on ranch on here, and we just gotta I just kind of gotta get them on there. And it really just improves the flavor that much more, you know? So now it should be looking a lot more like this, and you're going to want to finish it off here. So this is where you add a little bit of garlic. That should probably be enough garlic. And So a little dab of peanut butter. I haven't made this dish in a very long time. It's so fun to make. And basically you're done here. You just want a little bit of seeds on top. And this is ready to serve now. So now you just be able to take this out, and this should be a great portion for any amount of people. You can just kind of cut it up like this. I like to eat it like this. Just kind of cut it into like fours, like so. And this is served at almost every restaurant that I have. And that's what it should look like when you're done. It's beautiful. I always like to put a little sugar on top, just cause. Like so. This is my favorite dish to make, and I call this Mantahasia. I present to you Mantahasia. If you want to be warm, you sit by the fire. If you want to be cold, you jump in the snow. And anything in between is just bliss, you know?